Hello everyone and welcome to our tutorial today with the Putnam County District Library. I'm Addie and I'm going to be talking you through recognizing fake apps. So all of this helpful information comes from a couple antivirus software websites. So I'm going to provide links to those websites at the end of the video if you would like to research further. So Kaspersky and Avast are two of them that I use. Before I begin the video, I want to very quickly mention an email that I received from the FTC, that's the Federal Trade Commission, last week. It states that refunds may be available to people who were tricked into wiring money to scammers between the years of 2004 and 2017. So you may be eligible for a refund if you wired money to a scammer between 2004 and 2017. The deadline to file a claim for this refund is August 31st of this year, August 31st, 2022. So you have a little bit of time left to file a claim for that. I'm going to add a link to the FTC's website describing the process at the end of this video as well. Okay, so you'll see that on my resources page at the end of the video. Okay. Back to what are fake apps. So fake apps are just what they sound like. Apps that are designed by scammers or cyber criminals to resemble legitimate apps, but with the intent of causing harm to others via malicious activities. This could include monitoring your phone activity, installing malware, overwhelming you with ads, or stealing your personal information. Why do these fake apps exist? Mobile devices, those that use apps every single day, are great targets for scammers. Mobile devices are constantly with us. Many of us use them for private transactions or conversations, and it is hard to prevent or detect a breach of security on a mobile device. So how do fake apps reach you as the user? Third-party app stores, unofficial app stores, but they're not scams, they're just unofficial app stores. These unofficial app stores are often more susceptible to the malicious apps than, say, your Google Play Store or your Apple App Store. False or fake app stores. These are intended to be fake. I recently saw a scam app store on somebody's phone. It looked very real, very close to legitimate. There were only a couple small clues that indicated that it wasn't the real Apple App Store that this person wanted. Someone who didn't spend a lot of time with technology could easily be fooled by the fake one. How did we recognize the fake? The logo of the App Store was not identical to the logo. The logo of the App Store was not identical to the logo of the Apple App Store. I'm going to struggle with that. Once again, someone less familiar with apps and downloading may not notice the difference between logos. This is what scammers are banking on. There were also not very many reviews of the different available apps. Many of the reviews present were not detailed and seemed generalized or fictitious. Also not something an occasional or new tech user would notice. Okay, so you have your third-party app store, you have your fake app store. Fake apps can get to you through either of those. They can also reach you through the official app store. So cyber criminals can sidestep the security measures of the official app stores, so the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, occasionally and pass a fake app off to unwary users. Both Play Stores, Apple and Google, claim to review stringently all apps and developers, and yet some of these fake apps still manage to slide through. So you have to be wary as a user. Also, the fourth way that these fake apps can reach you is through some of the scamming techniques that I've mentioned in my other videos these last couple months. So phishing emails or text messages, trying to trick you into downloading an app that will eventually compromise your data. They may pretend to be an update for your phone, but clicking on the link to do the update puts you at risk. So if you are curious or feel unfamiliar about any of those tactics, you're welcome to watch some of my other videos that I've been posting at your leisure. So there are lots of different types of fake apps. I'm going to include the link, like I mentioned earlier, at the end of this video so that you can research the different types of fake apps further if you so desire. That will be included on the resource page at the end of the video. So how do you spot fake apps? Check the reviews. Legit apps usually have thousands of reviews. Does the app have low ratings and multiple user complaints? Potentially be wary of that app. On the flip side, if the app has all positive reviews, be wary of that too. They may be fake reviews. As always, with anything online, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. You should look for grammar and or spelling mistakes. Typos and errors in app descriptions is probably not a legitimate app. You can notice the number of downloads. Legitimate apps have millions of downloads or more. If you see a popular app with only a couple hundred or a couple thousand downloads, it may be a fake. You should always research the developer. Do a quick Google search. This will help you discover if it is legitimate or not. If there is a spelling incongruity in the developer's name, be wary. Most popular apps are not paying someone else to develop them. For example, Facebook, the app or the website, Facebook was developed by Facebook. Facebook Messenger is developed by Facebook. So if you're looking to download Facebook Messenger or just Messenger, if it's not created or developed by Facebook, especially if it's face-book or Facebook''s or something that is not Facebook, be wary. You can always check the release date of the app. If there's lots and lots of downloads, but the app's only been available for a week, proceed with caution. Legit apps usually are on the market for a while and they build a solid foundation of users over time. You should always review the permissions agreement before downloading. Fake apps ask for more authorizations or freedoms into your phone than are necessary. For example, an app that has nothing to do with your location is asking to use your location. Be wary of that. Does the app have to update itself a lot after you've downloaded it? That may be a sign of some security vulnerabilities. And like I mentioned before, check the icon of the app, that little square with that picture that indicates which app it is. So the little F for Facebook, for example. I mentioned this one earlier. Does the app symbol look a little different from the one that you're used to? It's close, but not quite right. Be very wary of that. It is not likely that a major app is going to be changing their logo very often because it is so familiar. That would confuse people. So you should be looking for the logo that you recognize. If the logo doesn't look quite right, you should also double check if it's a clear image or if it's kind of fuzzy. If it's fuzzy, that may not be the legitimate app that you're looking for. It may just be a copy of that picture. You want a clear resolution image. Okay, the million-dollar question. How do you protect yourself from fake apps? If you discover that you have a fake app on your phone or device, delete it immediately. Then restart your device and, if applicable, run an antivirus software or app. You can also report the fake app to the App Store where you got it to prevent further potential harm to others. So for example, if you downloaded something from the Google Play Store and you realize it's a fake app, you should let Google Play Store know. Think before you download. Only choose apps that you will use on a regular basis and will be useful to you. That may seem obvious, but you never know. Use official app stores whenever possible. So the Apple App Store, if you have an Apple phone, or the Google Play Store, if you have an Android phone, whenever possible. So use official app stores whenever possible and search for a particular app using a reputable search engine like Google. So you hear about an app, somebody's talking about it, do a Google search of it, and like I said, read some of those reviews, check out how many downloads it's had before you jump headfirst into it. Make sure you check those app details before you download. Like I mentioned, the reviews, who the developer is, look at the icon closely and make sure that it is recognizable and looks familiar. If it's an app that you've used before or you've heard of, check the number of downloads, check the spelling and the grammar. There shouldn't really be any mistakes in there if it's an official app. Don't click on links sent to you anonymously via text message, notification, or email. Proceed with caution. Always, if somebody sends you a link, proceed with caution. This is my tech mantra. I feel like I mention this with every video, but it's super important. If someone sends you a link, don't just click on it. They could have been hacked, especially if it's through like a Facebook message. Their account could have been hacked. Proceed with caution. And last but not least, review those permissions. Do you want this app to track your location constantly? If not, do you really need the app, or does it just seem like something fun you might want to try? So I'm going to include the resources, all my links here at the end of the video. Please feel free to research all of this further. Knowledge is power, of course. And thank you all for watching. Okay, goodbye.